Good morning and welcome to Nigeria Now, the show which brings you the top story from the various headlines across Nigerian newspaper here on your digital first Pan-African News Network, TOS Television. As always, I am Sagir Ibrahim, and with me here today is my co-host Adesuel Suyi, as well as our guest, as well as our sub-editor here at TOS TV Network, Mr. Adebayo Fajimi. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Mr. Adebayo. How are you doing today?
I'm very fine. Thank you for having me.
All right, so we move straight into, the headlines, the front pages today. And I'm going to be starting with the front page of the Daily Times. That's the banner headline on the Daily Times newspaper. So it's an enemy threatens to join doctors' strike if, and there are 4 riders underneath that, issues 21-day ultimatum for implementation of agreements with affiliate members, caution against victimization of striking resident doctors, threat in collision with MOU signed by medical body, that's from the Labour Minister, as federal government set aside 4.8 billion naira for doctors training fund. Now that headline is replicated across, I think, 2 or 3 other
Yes, you can see it on the Nigerian News Direct newspaper as well as another newspaper here.
Yes. Okay, so what's your take on this? So the Nigerian Medical Association is saying, look, we're giving you 21 days to implement, whatever was agreed in the memorandum of association. If not, we're going to join the resident doctors in the strike. And then the federal government is saying, look, this is against everything that we spoke about earlier. What's your take on all of this?
Well, my take on that is Nigerian government should listen to what NMA, is saying and other party to this issue at stake. Because if you look at the entire issue, it is very pathetic, quite, displeasing to hear. Because if you look at the Nigerian health sector, it's not something to be, to be glad about.
Yeah.
And if you see, or rather, if you look at what these people are fighting for, it is their right. And if you look at the entire nation's budget also, I think it's about 7%. It is very, very bad. How can government be paying 5,000 allowance, hazard allowance for critical sector of a nation? And you see other nations, the way they are treating their medical personnel, you can see how Nigerian doctors are living, mass exodus, going to other clients,
I was even going to say that because I was going to get your reaction on what happened last week through the weekend. We saw a very glaring case of brain drain, which was very, very open. The Saudi Arabian government came into Nigeria, and in our country, they were screening our doctors who also showed 100% interest, to go for that screening and leave the country. So in a situation like this, first of all, what do you think this shows as a country to our international partners? And the second thing is, what do you think the government should do to ensure that this stops?
What I think the government should do is to do the needful, take proper, adequate care of these people. I was telling somebody earlier that I was reading an opinion of a brother who is an heir to governor in my state, Osun. And, in his opinion, it was, talking about how a senior doctor, medical doctor at a state teaching hospital was earning 30,000 naira. How can that stand to feed a family of 2 or even 3 in the present economy? And unfortunately, the wife is also a medical doctor, and they were both earning 30,000 naira. So altogether in a month is 60,000 naira. So, and they want to live a good life, they want to do this, they want to do that. They have kids, they want to give them better education. Why you see a politician, or rather politicians, who do nothing and yet are earning millions of naira every month? So the best thing for Nigerian government to do is to, look into a way to make this profession, to give high regard to this profession and take care of them the way it should be.
All right. Okay, so we go to the Blueprint newspaper now. For the very gaping headline there, we see as gunmen kills Senator Nala's pilot son in Kaduna, Matali alerts on threat to destabilize Zamfara. Fingers, APC chieftain, troops rescue 3 victims, bandits kill 2 in Kaduna. IPAC slams Plateau lawmakers over self-defense corps. NGE wants FG states to be proactive. We must collectively tackle our security challenge. And that's by the publisher of the Blueprint newspaper. Now, we also saw the headline, pertaining the death, the unfortunate assassination or execution of the Senate Majority Leader's son, Nala. So I want to ask, because some quarters I read the comments, following the news, and it was really pathetic to see Nigerians who were excited that it happened, being that they feel a lot of Nigerians have been in this position for long and the government has not done anything about it. So in your own perspective, do you think it is right for us to have gotten the response, especially as it relates to the child or the son of a Nigerian politician?
Well, I do not honestly believe this is right for anybody to make mockery of anybody, because this is a very sad situation that anybody will never pray to experience. It is better, it is something that is better, you rather see it than to experience it. However, it still tells us about the entire, porous, the porosity in our security architecture, and it is high time, like you said, that a lot of people have gone through this and they are still experiencing this, especially the average citizen, the common man in the nation, and our politicians seems to do nothing but, it is a hit on everybody now. So this is a signal that nobody is saved anymore. It is not that will not be the first person they will kill. We have seen politicians being attacked, So our government should come to their senses and, sit back and look at how they can, be pragmatic and be decisive about this, especially Mr. President. It is high time, the president, look into his cabinet. Like he said, recently, that he doesn't want to live as a failure. Yeah. And if Mr. President truly meant what he said, he should look into his cabinet and do a critical assessment of who is not working at all. And whoever is not working, among the security chief, he should be fired and let them go, so that he can truly leave the legacy he was, willing, to leave when it's no more in office. I think that's the way to go.
All right. Okay, so moving forward, I just saw one on the Blueprint newspaper very quickly. It says, Nigeria far from local aircraft production. I just saw this and I wanted to bring to your attention, because I know just last week we were talking about it. So what's your reaction on that? Into the fact that the Nigerian government has proclaimed, and here is someone who is saying we are far from it.
Of course, I support that, because if Nigeria cannot,
the expression alone just tells it.
If Nigeria cannot produce basic needs, common toothpick, and we have all the resources, even in my state, we have more than enough resources to produce toothpick that we take care of all the that we take care of all Nigerians. We cannot. We manufacture them. What's it called? Phone recently, and Nigeria was so happy about it. In fact, they even celebrated this, in Hasso Rock.
Yes.
Why developing nation are far ahead? So to me, it's honestly a joke.
But I don't think this is fair on Nigeria. Having to, compare us to so many developing nations. You hear people comparing Nigeria to China, to Japan, to the US. I think it's just more recently that our tech sector is starting to spring up and develop, and we're starting to pay more attention to the ICT and the tech sector. I think our tech sector is growing to the point where we might be able to, maybe not now, in the nearest future, produce.
To add to what you just said, still on the Blueprint newspaper, it says yes, Business Day newspaper. It says COVID pushes Nigeria's ICT sector to second largest. Now we don't know whether it's Africa or in the world.
Even if it's in Africa,
but it's true. However, I am not in the position to dispute whether Nigeria has the capacity to produce an aircraft or not.
Okay.
Yes, but can we agree to disagree that the Nigerian ICT sector, at least to an extent, is growing?
At the moment now. Okay. At the moment. And with the information at my own stake, I do not believe Nigeria is ready for that. We should just stop being, we should stop playing this joke.
Okay, so
we are not
serious. We are growing. But whether we are able to manufacture an aircraft or not is a conversation for another day.
Of course.
All
We
right.
might not even
all
have
right.
to
No
make
problem.
the engines. We could just make the body
No
and
problem.
then, you know...
No problem. Let's just leave it as it is.
Oh.
So still on the Business Day newspaper, there's a very big question there which states 2023. Who wants to be Nigeria's next president?
Yes.
Mr. Fajimi, who wants to be Nigeria's next president?
Well, I do not want to predict now, and I'm not ready to take side on whoever, but I just believe, you know, this also bands on the structure and the rotation of each political party. If you look at the APC and the PDP, you look at, and you remember Nigeria also do zoning presidency.
Yes.
So if this will happen by the structure of each party. Remember, PDP...
Let me read something out before you go. I think on the Daily Trust newspaper, it's the banner headline there says 2023 PDP to cede presidency to North, zones chairmanship to South. I think that just further buttresses the point that you
Yes, because if you look at it, PDP has ruled Nigeria for 16 years, and if you look at it, Obasanjo did 8 years, Yar'Adua did 2 years, right? Am I right? And Jonathan did 6 years. So now, if you look at APC now, Buhari is there 8 years. So it depends on the structure and the tactic of each political party. However, the person I want to see being my president as a discerning Nigeria is somebody who can guarantee maximum and adequate security and who can drive this economy and you know who will make me feel among, you know, not being marginalized. That's the person I want to envisage becoming my president as a Nigerian.
I really thought you wanted us to give us a name.
Thank God you didn't. So just a final thought. It's just a yes or no answer. So I want to ask you.
Okay.
Now we're expecting the elections to come 2023, right? With the current caliber of politicians who are in the front line at the moment, do you see any of them as this president? Yes or no? So we can end the show.
Well, it is a no-no.
Okay.
So we come
There we
to
have it.
the end of Nigeria now. And remember, you could be a part of this conversation by connecting with us on our various social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at TOS TV Network. You could also watch Nigeria now via our website at www.tostvnetwork.com. Don't forget, you could also watch a recap of this program as well as other programs via our YouTube page at TOS TV Network. Don't forget to like and subscribe. As always, my name is Sagir Ibrahim.
And I am Ade Suwalsi. Thank you so much for joining us on the show today.